Hello and welcome to Revolutionary Capital TV, where you learn to take control and possession of your own mind in order to create the life you've always dreamed of. I'm David Rodriguez, and today we're going to address the fundamental and very important question, what is revolutionary capital? And it is the wealth in your mind that you're born with. That amazing power, that amazing genius and brilliance and potential that is inside of your brain when you're born is revolutionary capital. And if you think about being a child or seeing a child, how free they are, how perfect their self-expression is, how they're able to walk, how they're able to talk, this ability comes from their mind. And yet there was no formal education, there was no formal instruction, but through observation and assimilation, they have achieved these very important goals. And as time goes on, this child goes through most likely an educational process where this freedom of mind, this freedom of soul, which they're born with, is stolen from them, whether purposefully or not, through teachers or well-meaning but misdirected families and friends. This power is drained from them, and this channel is about giving that power back to you, helping you unleash the hidden abilities that you have for this lifetime. Because my belief that you are on this planet for a specific reason, and you are here to deliver that message to the world. And it doesn't matter what profession you have or what you do currently. If you're not doing what you love, if you're not doing what inspires you, then we want to help advance that process and develop your ability to critically think, to analyze, and to take massive action. Because at the end of the day, you don't got to get it right. You just got to get it going. And for a lot of us, it's hard because we don't want to be wrong. We want to be perfect before we launch, before we start. But in the world of results, there is no perfect first time. If it's worth doing it all well, then it's worth doing poorly in the beginning. So we're going to be talking about so many strategies and ideas and techniques, and this is proven from the people who have achieved. So make sure you subscribe and get some value here, because I'm going to be giving you some of the best tools and nuggets that I have. But first I had to define what is revolutionary capital so that all of you at home understand what I'm talking about. The revolutionary capital is this ability inside our head, inside our mind and our heart, that we can literally achieve anything. And one of the first steps is visualizing what we want. And if you cannot see it in your mind first, then you'll never be able to see it in reality. Do you think Steve Jobs, rest in peace, when he was around, that he just said, hey, let's just put some pieces together, put a screen on something, and let's just see what we can create? No, he knew very well what he was doing, and he visualized that very clearly, and then he put it into words on paper and diagrams and blueprints, and then he manifested that. And that is the same strategy and principles that you and I can manifest. But the challenge is first opening our mind to this ability to visualize. How do you feel about visualizing dreams and goals? How do you feel about envisioning what you want in your life? Do you think it's kooky, or do you think it's awesome? Do you think it's powerful? Do you think it's tremendous? Because it is the latter. And what we're going to do is go through so many various ways to help develop your and my revolutionary capital and go out and change people's lives. Go out and be the role model that the society needs. And so this is why we're having this channel. So make sure you subscribe, and I'm going to be posting videos every few days, at least 2 a week, and you're going to get great value here. So make sure you plug in, and I'll leave you with a quick story about Michelangelo. Michelangelo is one of the most renowned artists of all time, and he's known as a sculptor, an artist, a painter, everything else, and he created one of the most masterful sculptures on the planet, known as the David. And the David is a huge piece of marble, but is very thin. And so at the time, these other artists were contracted to take the work, but ended up giving it back. They couldn't do anything because this piece of marble was too narrow, too long. But Michelangelo ended up taking on the contract and actually going and sitting in front of the marble and actually looking at the marble and visualizing what he's going to do with it. After he saw it, he started to get to work on it. And then a little boy comes up to him and he says, "Excuse me, mister, what are you doing to that rock?" And he said, "There's an angel inside, and I'm setting him free." So, chip by chip, hammer and chisel, he chipped away the pieces of the marble which weren't the angel, which weren't the David. And that is very similar to how your mind and my mind operate. Little by little, we chip away what is not us. We have to return to that original freedom of mind and freedom of expression which we had as a child, which was so perfect and free, and get rid of the labels and strip those names and labels that limit us. You are truly unlimited. And we're going to go over some exciting things on this channel which are going to benefit your life. And if anything, provide some entertainment to you. But we're here to really make a difference. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my wish for you that you decide to revolutionize your mind and become the champion you were born to be. Because it is an irrefutable fact that you have all the necessary power within you right now to achieve all your goals and dreams. So let's turn it on and let's get it going. That's the show for today. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Have an awesome day. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to Revolutionary Capital TV, where you learn to take control and possession of your own mind in order to create the life you've always dreamed of. I'm David Rodriguez, and today we're going to be talking about the power of learning. And I want to start off with a quick story and a question. Have you ever been to a circus? And I imagine that you say yes, and you've seen those huge elephants. And it was always a curious thing for me. How do these huge elephants walk in a line and stand on each other's shoulders and do all this work and not run away and create a huge stampede? Well, when these elephants are babies, just little calves, they have a chain put around their leg, and they are chained to a metal pole. And so with the energy and the rambunctiousness of a calf, he's trying to pull away, and he's using all of his might to pull and struggle and resist, and he concludes that it's useless because the chain is not going to break. So that is a very important conclusion that he's made, because now as he gets bigger and he can totally stomp on the trainer, well, guess what? They're using a rope and a wooden stake in the ground. So anytime this huge elephant, 6,000, 11,000 pounds, is pulling, now he feels that little tug of resistance, and he associates that back to when he was just a calf. And he concludes, oh, it's useless. There's no reason for me to try because I'm not going to be able to break the chain. So this is an example of how a learning experience as a young calf or as a young person can totally influence our future. And there's another story that I really like, is that I heard this from my mentor, and it has to do with the musical Cats. So have you heard of the musical Cats? Very famous and well known on Broadway and throughout the world. Well, the creator of this musical was being interviewed, and they said, miss, how did you ever get into theater and music and dance? And she said, when I was about 8 years old, I was having a really tough time in school. And so my mother was called in, and my teacher, and they had a little conference, and they put me in a room, and I was in the room by myself, and it was viewable with a one-way mirror. And so they both left me in there, and there was a little bit of music going on in the room. And then behind the mirror, the teacher, my teacher asked or told my mother, she said, your daughter, she's not dumb. Look at your daughter right now. And they looked at her, and they see her in the room, and there's a little bit of music going on. So she's moving a little bit, shaking her body to the music. And she says, your daughter is not dumb. Your daughter is a dancer. You need to take her to a dance school. And so she said, well, what happened after that? She said, well, the next day, my mom took me out of school, and we started looking at various dance schools in the area. And I walked in, I saw all these other kids my age, and they were moving their body and dancing. And I was so excited. I said, wow, there's other people like me. And so what happened then, she joined the school, she became a solo ballerina and excelled, and from there got into music and theater and everything else, and that put her on a career to become famous, wealthy, well-respected, and admired throughout the world. And so it really comes down to a teacher who was able to identify that she doesn't have a learning problem, she has an interest problem. And so that's why it's so important for you and I to find what we're interested in and learn that. Whereas the elephant who is in a situation where they made a conclusion at a young age and they concluded that they cannot break this chain around them. So that's what I want to share today. So learning is so important. So even if you had a learning experience when you're young, learn to shake that off and realize that today is a new day and that you can learn anything that you want to learn utilizing your revolutionary capital. So the quote I want to share with you today is that water is to the fish as air is to the bird, as man is unto himself. So think on that one for a little bit. And ladies and gentlemen, it's my wish for you that you decide to revolutionize your mind and become the champion you were born to be, because it is an irrefutable fact that you have all the necessary power right now within you to achieve all your goals and dreams. So let's turn it on and let's get it going. Talk with you soon. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to Revolutionary Capital TV, where you learn to take control and possession of your own mind in order to create the life you've always dreamed of. I'm David Rodriguez, and today we're going to talk about the Friday night feeling and how you can utilize it every single day to benefit your life. So first, what is the Friday night feeling? The Friday night feeling is that emotion, that feeling, that strong exhilaration that we felt back in high school on Friday night, the night of a football game. Do you remember what it was like? There was something exciting about that particular night. And I think that it comes from the necessary preparation by so many different people to make that event happen. Because it's not just an event that a few people can just say, let's go play a game and just go have some fun together. No, there's so many different aspects and so many different groups of people who have to work together to make that event happen. And so that's why I think it's so exciting. And so there's all this emotional energy and focus and attention, and so everybody gets to participate in it, and there's something really exciting about that. And so have you ever heard of Coach John Wooden? Coach John Wooden is one of the winningest coached and most legendary coaches in any sport in history. And he actually won 7 national championships from NCAA men's Division I basketball. So he has a great amount of wisdom and knowledge, and he was being interviewed. And they asked him, hey, Coach, what do you miss the most when you left coaching and you're not a coach anymore? What do you miss the most? And he said, I miss the preparation. Yeah, I miss practice. And the reporter said, wow, why do you miss practice? He said, at practice, we prepare for the game on Friday. And we utilize every minute of practice, and we focus, and the game is just the demonstration if we prepared well enough or not. And so he said he wasn't really excited by games. He was more excited by practice. And so he said he missed preparation the most. And so that's what we have to focus on. What are we preparing for? What is the outcome that you are building for? What is the end goal that you see for yourself during this period in your life? And that is the preparation that is going to revive and bring back the Friday night feeling, that emotion and that intense feeling of excitement, knowing that something big is going to happen. And so we want to focus on that, because when we do, we are utilizing our revolutionary capital. There is so much power inside of us right now that it's incredible. So when you are sitting there, no matter what time you're watching this video, deep inside there's this energy just waiting to ignite and to engulf you in enthusiasm and empower you to your dreams and your end outcome in this particular stage. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my wish for you that you decide to revolutionize your mind and become the champion you were born to be. Because it is an irrefutable fact that you have all the necessary power within you right now to achieve all your goals and dreams. So let's turn it on and let's get it going. Thanks for watching. That's the show. Make sure you subscribe. Until next video, keep going strong.